Hi, I'm Erin MacDonald, the French Newfie. Today I'm going to make a quinoa burger, and I know what you're thinking. It's not meat, it's not your hamburger, but these days people are health conscious, and I know I am, and I want to start incorporating more vegetables into my nights and grains instead of eating meat and fish and protein, that type of protein every night of the week. So quinoa is high in protein and low in carbs. And it's also a great alternative, let's say if you have a vegetarian coming over for dinner. These days, you're more than likely gonna have a vegetarian out of the group if you have 5 or 6 people coming over. And this is a great way that you can accommodate them. So I have the quinoa, and I already cooked the quinoa this morning. And how you're going to make that is 1.5 cups of hot water, boiling water, and then the quinoa inside. And you do that for about 15 minutes, let it boil, turn down the heat, and cool it in the refrigerator. And that's what I have done. So now I'm gonna get it into the bowl, just like so. And because I want it to taste similar to that meaty burger that everyone loves and craves, we need to incorporate quite a bit of flavor, which is what I'm going to do. So what you'll need is, for this recipe, you need 2 eggs. So let's get that in, just like that. And again, that's the reason that I let it cool, because if I would have put the eggs in and it was hot, it would scramble the eggs, and you don't want scrambled eggs. So Parmesan cheese, and again, it's gonna make it really nice and buttery and flavorful, and that's what we're after. I have about 5 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese into the mixture. And now we need some more binder, so we're gonna add some breadcrumbs, and I just have plain breadcrumbs. If you wanna use Italian breadcrumbs or seasoned, fill your boots, but I just have the plain, so in there. Of course, we're gonna need salt, so lots of salt. I say lots, I mean at least 1.5 tablespoons of flaky salt. And then I'm gonna add some white pepper, and I like to use black pepper or white pepper for this recipe. I want it to be a little spicier. White pepper is spicier, so that's what I'm gonna use. So a good pinch of that, which would be about 1/2 teaspoon. And then some nice coriander, ground coriander, and I like that in the burger as well. So again, another 1/2 teaspoon. And as always, if you want to use a teaspoon to measure, feel free, have at her. And cumin, again, another 1/2 teaspoon. Get that in. Lots and lots and lots of flavor going into this quinoa burger. It's gonna be delicious. I'm just gonna turn up my heat in the pan, and I have a neutral olive oil, not extra virgin, just regular, and get the flame going. Perfect. And paprika. This is Hungarian smoked paprika. So 1/2 teaspoon of the paprika down like this. A couple of chili flakes. I like a lot of heat. And now this is everything. So I'm gonna get that mixed up. Make sure that you break your eggs, get it all incorporated. Make sure you have all the Parmesan cheese, all that goodness in there. And you can see it is coming together very nicely, starting to stick together, which is what you want, because you need to form it into that familiar shaped patty, of course. Now I'm going to show you how to form it and make it into that patty. What I have done is just cut a piece of plastic wrap, saran wrap, and I'm gonna get that onto my board. And then what you wanna do is take a cover. I just have a cover or a lid. You can find all kinds of molds in the stores these days that that can make a patty, but I like to use the top of this container that I actually have, so it works perfect. Use what you have. And get that into your little burger shaped cylinder like I have. It mimics it perfectly. So I'm just gonna put that in and pack it down tightly. It's okay if you pack it down tightly with this one, because you actually want it to stick together like that. And now, with a little bit of force, what you want to do is take it and smack it down onto the saran wrap, just like that. And it will come apart a little bit because it is the quinoa, but what you can do is recover from that by taking the plastic wrap and pushing it up and over like this. And then the same thing, you push it up and it will come together as a little burger patty. And again, like this. And then up into the center and slightly push down, and that's what you're left with, is a nice patty shape. But it does need to set up in the refrigerator. And of course, as always, I did that earlier today, and I have some already done. So this is what it's like when it's set up for at least 1 hour in the refrigerator. And just take it apart. And you can see now it's more formed and set, so you can touch it, you can move it, and you want to get it straight into your pan, like that. Down into the pan. Perfect. And now we're going to let that go for around 3 minutes on each side. So I'm going to move this board out of the way and bring in another board, because I collect boards, so I have boards everywhere. And I'm going to show you some ingredients that to me make it a burger. I mean, let's be honest, it's not all about the meat or the chicken or whatever type of burger you have. It's what goes on top that makes it the burger, in my opinion. So I have a really nice bun here that I bought this morning, and it's got a little cheese crust. You gotta have lots of flavor, especially when you're making a quinoa burger. So because it is a quinoa, it may fall apart when you bite into it. What I like to do is actually take the bottom of the bun out, and that's going to make a little cavity that will be great resting area for your burger, just like that. As you can see, it's hollowed out, so if the quinoa goes down inside, when you bite, the quinoa is not going to fall apart and go everywhere. Tomato, lettuce, pickle, cheese, these are the usual suspects that you would find on a burger. You can put whatever you want. This is what I like, so this is what I'm going to use. The beef tomato is perfect for this burger because they're juicy and they're round. And I worked at a restaurant before cutting so many of these, hundreds of beef tomatoes. And the best way I found is to use a serrated edge bread knife for cutting them. So I'll just get that down. You can see the serrated edge really helps you get perfect cuts. But I only need one for this burger, just like that. I'm gonna turn over my patty now. It's sizzling up really nicely. And be careful, flip it quickly, just like that. It's got some really nice color onto it. It's crispy. It's gonna be so yummy with all of these toppings. And another thing that I wanna do now is, so that it doesn't burn, but we need the inside to cook as well and warm up, because there is the raw egg in there. So you can take a cover to your pan if you have, or a cover to a pot, and put that down over like this. And what that's gonna do is make sure that the inside gets cooked as well. So just another minute on this. And I'm also gonna add my cheese, because I like my cheese to be melty. And that's gonna ensure that it melts and gets all delicious in here. I had one of these last week for my dinner, and I really enjoyed it, and I hope that you give it a try. You don't have to have meat every single night of the week. I know a lot of people enjoy meat and potatoes, but this is a much, much healthier option. Okay, and like I said, we're gonna put some usual suspects on the burger, and ketchup. I enjoy ketchup on my burger. I know a lot of people do as well. I have an organic ketchup, which is nice. We're going with a healthy mode today, so, you know, why not make it healthy? organic ketchup. I'm gonna put some on the top and as well as the bottom. You want lots of sauce to soak up into that bun, just like this. And for me as well, I enjoy mustard. If you don't enjoy mustard, just leave it off. Some people put mayonnaise as well, or barbecue sauce. Depends on what you're in the mood for. On the bottom, like this. And so now that's been going for about 3 or 4 minutes on either side. The cheese is melted. I'm just gonna turn off the burner and assemble my quinoa burger. First goes down the patty. I'm gonna put it right down, like I said, there you go. And see, it will start to come apart, and that's gonna happen, especially when you bite into it, and that's why it's important to get it down into that little hole that I made. And then I'm gonna put some pickle. I love pickles, vinegary, briny pickles. It kind of reminds me of a Quarter Pounder, which is my favorite burger at McDonald's. Yes, I said it, I like McDonald's. So a nice amount of my pickles. Then I'm gonna put the tomato, and like I said, look at that. The slice is perfect. You should use a serrated edge. You'll always have a perfect cut tomato. And then some nice buttery Bib lettuce on top. And there's another little crevice that I dug out just like that. That is a really pretty burger to me, and there's so much flavor going on in that quinoa from all the spice that we put in earlier. It is so good. You should really try this, and if you have vegetarians coming over, it's a great alternative. You don't have to just serve them salad anymore. I hope you try it. Enjoy.